Hello and welcome to episode 12 of the Get Real Gaming Podcast, the show where we get real talking about the latest video game news and releases. I'm Richard, and with me, the number one in my top 10 co-hosts, Lawrence. How are you doing today?
Who's your number two?
Well, you know, Chris seemed to know quite a lot.
He did, didn't he, in the last episode? Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, but then I returned the glory. I'm here with the trophy.
You're back. You're back.
It's very heavy.
Yeah.
I've done me back
I've
out
got the
because
reins
of it.
back. You did a great job, Lawrence.
Thank
last
you.
week. Well done.
I had to do it for Team Get Real Gaming.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
How are you doing today? You all right? Did you have a nice New Year?
Yeah, it was all right. It was quiet. How about you?
Yeah, it was quiet as well, but nice. You know, we're in tier 4 lockdown for UK listeners. We're just basically, me and my girlfriend went out shopping.
You're in tier 4.
Tier 4, yeah. We went out shopping today and it was almost as if there wasn't even any tears going on.
Yeah,
the only tears were the tears in my eyes, seeing everyone still walking around outside. Go home, people.
Go home. Go back to your loved ones. I'm in tier 3, luckily. Won't be for long, but I'm in tier 3. And it's all right.
Nothing changes really now. It's just gotten to the point where I don't feel like anything's different.
No, there is no different. I think we need to do what the French are doing and get the military and the police out onto those streets.
Get them out there.
Get them out there. We'll do it.
I think Scotland's going to be on
Scotland's full lockdown.
Super
Time recording. Scotland's going to be full lockdown at midnight tonight.
Yeah, ridiculous, eh?
And I think we're going to follow them because there is a live thing happening today.
Yeah,
but this isn't the Get Real Political podcast. That's next week.
No, it's not. No, you're right. It's not. We're here to talk about video games.
Video games. We're meant to distract you from the real world.
Before we go into the news, I'll let you know what we're doing later this episode. We are talking about our own opinionated best and worst games of the year. It's only our opinions and not factual information.
Well, I mean, it is fact. Really?
No, it's not.
I mean, it is.
No,
it is.
No, it's not factually correct.
It is fact. Look, I'm a scientist, right?
Look,
don't make me go get Dr. Bigglesworth in, okay?
All right.
will come in here and say it's fact. That PC Master Race beats consoles every time.
Oh, God, I've clipped the mic so hard. I was so angry at you for bringing that up again. Turn myself down. You can't.
I'm doing all the memes right now. I've done the alright meme. I've done the PC Master Race meme.
You know, and it's time to move on. It's 2021. You need to come up with something brand new and fresh.
Merch store.
No.
Oh.
We're not that. We're not that popular yet. Jesus.
Okay. Leave it with me. I'll come up with something.
Okay. I'll leave it with you. In the meantime, Lawrence, what news have you brought along this week to share with us?
I have brought, before we go into the news, see that dramatic effect pause? Before we go into the news.
All right.
What have you been playing this week?
Oh, for goodness sake. Right.
Yeah, that's right. You tried to skip that bloody preamble. I'm dragging you right back.
All right. We've been playing Minecraft, actually, haven't we? We started a new server to do some modded Minecraft just for. It's that time of year. There's that Christmas New Year period of time where we get back into Minecraft. Is there anybody else out there listening that always chooses this time of year to start playing Minecraft again? I feel like it can't just be us. There's got to be more out there doing the same thing. But it was good fun.
It was good fun. I mean, it is good fun. We've got quite a few people in the server now, haven't we?
Yeah, we do, yeah. And we've got, I've been playing just like holiday event stuff in different games. Fortnite, Elder Scrolls.
It's funny you should bring up Elder Scrolls.
Oh, is it now?
I've been eyeing it up once more.
Give
it a go.
You might give it a go. Yeah, maybe bloody well should, Lawrence.
Maybe.
Well, before you give it a go, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I've been playing Minecraft, haven't I? I've been making stuff. Let me actually check of the games I've been playing. I've been playing, obviously, Football Manager.
Again.
A little bit of... again. I've left RB Leipzig. I'm now in the running for the managerial job at Everton.
Right.
I played a little bit of Control, not too much.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh, RTX graphics card, why not? You know.
And
I've been playing. Well, the only one play like the first literal 3 minutes, so I can't really say.
How was
it?
Give us a breakdown of the first 3 minutes.
You talk to a janitor, and he says, you must hear for the janitor position. Go up the elevator. It's like, okay, escape.
Okay,
quit.
Oh god. Brilliant. Okay, moving on.
I played a little bit of Medal of Honor, the new Medal of Honor in VR.
How's that? How's that going?
Very good.
Yeah,
very, very good. Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's again, I'm not playing much of it, but it's kind of odd in a way, like because you obviously aim down sights, you use it pressing the button. With this, you actually have to hold the gun with two hands and then kind of maneuver it up to your eye, before getting this aim down sights, and you have to inject yourself with like this red serum to gain health back.
Oh,
yeah,
that's kind of. It sounds like a lot more realistic than we expected. Then
honestly, it's just like every other first-person VR game.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie. It's
it's on the all right side.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not bad by any means. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Anything else you've been playing this week?
Bit of Star Wars Galaxies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something you've jumped into? A new fresh start?
Yeah. Getting the nostalgia hit and all that jazz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Very good.
Shall I get into the news now?
Yeah, well, sorry, do we have permission to now, Lawrence?
Hang on, let me just go check with manager.
Oh.
Yeah, he says it's fine.
Great. What's the first news article on our list this week, Lawrence?
Ooh, are you sure you want me to take this and not you?
Yeah.
Well, there is a rumour in the midst.
A rumour? Oh, yeah.
And I have a feeling this is going to get to be a Get Real crossover if this becomes true. As the Elder Scrolls is rumoured to be the next game getting a Netflix adaptation.
Oh,
this seems to be the same.
Interesting.
This seems to be like the same rumor going around about Assassin's Creed,
right?
And their Netflix adaptation,
right?
And there's already plans to turn Fallout 4 into a TV show. So,
well,
many video games.
If there's already plans to turn Fallout 4 into a TV show, then it is also very likely that Todd's got speed dial for Netflix, and he's
Sounds
going,
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this. You know, Fallout. Have you heard of Fallout 4 Netflix? Have you heard of Elder Scrolls Netflix?
I wonder what kind of like story they do for it, because obviously there's the Oblivion storyline, but then there's a Skyrim storyline, Morrowind, and I don't know what's happening at Elder Scrolls Online, but I imagine there's a story in there somewhere.
The next big expansion for Elder Scrolls is actually based on Oblivion. I think.
Yeah,
it's all about
the Oblivion
stuff.
Gates. It's honestly, ever since I saw that, I was like, Oblivion Gates, you say?
Yeah. Is that why you're thinking? Is that why you're considering?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Because I am going to start. I'm going to start streaming Oblivion on my Twitch stream.
Oh yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, Oblivion's my favorite next to Morrowind.
Right. I never got through any of the single player games, you see, so I didn't ever catch wind of the Elder Scrolls like franchise really until online, and the only reason I did was because I just thought, it was about time. But it's only been in the last year that I started playing it. So it was literally this year I started playing. 2020 that I started playing it within the last year. So
maybe you should come to the stream and play through Oblivion through me vicariously.
Through you, yeah, I could do because then I can absorb the game while also getting on with something else.
Absorb the game.
Yes, I'm taking all the details.
We're taking all the details of the XP. Well, what's interesting? Well,
just that news article in general. It's good news.
Yeah, it is good news. Well, it's a good rumour. But next up on our list, Age of Empires 4.
Oh, yeah.
Age of Empires 4.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
What about it?
It's playable.
It's playable.
And it is in the works, and they're making great progress on Age of Empires 4. In fact, there's a trailer out showing the game and the gameplay.
And who's responsible for Age of Empires 4 these days?
It's apparently a developer called World's Edge.
Oh.
And they are a Microsoft studio, and they've got partners with Relic, who did Company of Heroes and Dawn of War.
Interesting. So they've got good companies behind them, big franchise, and they just wanted to remind you that it's still on the way.
It does exist.
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
It looks so good though. Like, I cannot wait for that. Like, I love real-time strategy games. They're my bread and butter when I was a kid. Just very excited.
I want them to bring back. Was it Pharaoh? The
Pharaoh. Oh,
it Pharaoh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get that on GOG.
I think you can get it on Steam as well.
Probably.
Yeah. I want them to do a new version of it though. It'd be pretty good, I think.
Who did Pharaoh?
It was made by Sierra Studios.
Oh well, you've got no chance.
No,
you've got no chance.
Someone's still making money on it on Steam.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, you've definitely got no chance. You've definitely got no chance.
Oh.
Do you want to know who bought them out?
Bloody Activision, wasn't it?
Activision. Mm-hmm.
Bloody Activision.
No chance.
No chance on that, right?
Not a chance.
Fair enough. No. Let's move swiftly onwards then. What's our last news article to report this week, Lawrence?
Well, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
What do you know of it?
It's a game that
It is a game.
These days actually is used as a comparison as to why Cyberpunk 2077 isn't as good as it could have been,
which came out in 2018. Might I add?
But quite an old game.
Yeah. Yet somehow it's Steam's Game of the Year.
How?
I don't know. I think it's because it only just came to Steam.
Right. Wait, I'm looking at the article here. It says it made it to Steam in December of 2019. So it must have just been over the threshold from where they were counting that year's worth of games. So that made it possible.
And you thought No Man's Sky getting an award was ridiculous. This is even worse.
I don't think this is ridiculous. Why is this ridiculous?
Came out in 2018.
No Man's Sky is a bloody rubbish game compared to Red Dead Redemption 2.
That is down to a personal opinion.
Oh, now it's a personal opinion, huh?
That's
the start of this episode. You said you were a bloody scientist.
I am a scientist, so which my personal opinion is that you're wrong and I'm right.
All I'm saying is Red Dead Redemption 2 is still getting compared now to Cyberpunk in terms of the RPG features and stuff. People are doing comparisons of how much role-playing you can do in Red Dead Redemption 2 in the world, and how Cyberpunk 2077 is just absolutely years behind it.
I mean,
in terms of
Watch
features
Dogs Legion had a bit more of an open world life than Cyberpunk. But there are rumours floating around about Cyberpunk, so that's definitely a less of a main keep an eye on, and more of just we'll keep up to date. Do we want to talk about this?
We don't have to talk about it. You can just tell us the rumor and we can move on.
It's a big rumor, but a rumor floating around is that the intended game might be ready by June. Which is not that far. The intended game? Yeah, the intended game that we were meant to get last year, it might be ready by June.
At this point, I really think that there's a lot of game play core, the way that they built the game, the framework of building the game. There's a lot of things that just won't improve that we would want to see without them completely redesigning some of the way that the characters function.
From what this rumor says, is that the code that they were working on is not in the build. So
What?
Yeah, this is a complete story of execs overriding everything. A lot of cut content, like a lot of changes. Even the devs were saying, "Don't release it, don't release it, don't release it, don't release it, don't release it." Allegedly,
Allegedly.
a lot of the things that we want, the developers also want, and they're working on already. So and there's a lot, like, you can even find not all, but a lot of cut content in the game already. So it's definitely a one to watch. But back
in
onto the
about
actual
40
news article.
episodes, we'll be able to tell you for certain whether that came to fruition or not.
Yeah, allegedly.
So,
this is all rumor.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So there you go.
There we go.
Right.
We're not going to get a lawsuit. It's fine.
Let's go to our main topic, Lawrence. Today we are talking about our top 5 to 10 best / worst / they might be all right games of 2020.
Plus my special mentions because I played too many games in 2020.
I kept my list to just 5 of each, but Lawrence has got an absolute plethora of things to talk about. And that's fine. I'm going to take a bit more of a back seat on the conversation today. I'm just going to...
I want you to go first. No, by all means, I want you to go first.
Oh, I'll go first. That's no
You
problem.
go
What are we doing first? We're doing the worst or the best first?
Let's get the top 5 not favourite / unliked / worst games out there.
Worst.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, I was going through the list of games that actually came out this year. So we're talking about games that came out this year, not that we've been playing this year.
Yeah.
So it doesn't include ongoing games. It doesn't include, like, whatever. So worst games. Now, I haven't played all of these games, but I played most of them. But the first one on my list will be Marvel's Avengers.
Is that number 5? Is that number 5, Marvel's Avengers?
I haven't done them in any particular order, to be
do
honest.
them in a damn order. That's why it's
okay,
top
well,
5.
now I've said it, it's got to be number 5. So
There
number 5 is Avengers. Marvel's Avengers.
Top 5. I've not put them in an order, but...
No. So, why? Because I didn't buy it and I didn't play it, but I watched some of it and I just heard the overall opinion on it that it was just a complete waste of resources.
Yeah.
And was not worth, the effort and all that. And they could have, the potential was there and they just screwed it over.
Yeah.
And to me, that puts it in a worse list for me.
Oof. Big oof. What's your number 4?
I've got to decide what's number 4 now.
Oh,
right, here we go.
Show your workings.
Right, it's Doom Eternal. It's
Doom Eternal, number 4.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Sending your hate emails now, guys. But bloody hell, if I ever saw a game that looked exactly like the other game, it's Doom Eternal. That's why it's number 4 on my list. Because I looked at it and just thought, this is just Doom. This.
Well, yeah,
There's
it's
no
meant to be
difference.
Doom.
Yeah,
Clues in the name.
Yeah, but it just looks the same. It looks like it plays exactly the same. It sounds the same. I just couldn't justify another game out of it. So I just thought, there you go, number 4. Right, number 3 is Elder Scrolls Blades, Lawrence.
Ooh, I forgot about that one.
Exactly. Well done. You've spotted the reason immediately as to why it's on my list. They announced it, and it was such a big deal, right? And I thought, I'll sign up for the beta when it was announced.
I signed up for the beta as well, yeah.
I got it, and I downloaded it, and I played it a little bit, and I thought, you know what? There's something in this game. And then I realised there was absolutely nothing in this game, and it was literally just a big shill of a mobile game. And I just thought, you know what? Fair enough. But it was a horrible waste of potential once again. Are you seeing a pattern in what I consider to be worse games?
I want that on a shirt. I thought there was a bit in this game. There was actually none of this game.
Yeah. So that was it. Okay, number 2.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some more emails because I've put Cyberpunk in as my second worst.
What's your email?
No, it's getrealpoduk@gmail.com.
Getrealpod.
Listen, the story's fine. The story's fine, but you can't ignore everything that we've discussed about the game. It's such a controversial game that until they've done what they should have done with the game, which is, maybe June, maybe not, whatever. Until that point in time, it's now it's not a good game, other than the story. It's not a good role-playing game. Mm-hmm. It's a very good single-player story, and that's not what it was supposed to be. So just on wasted potential, again, alone currently. And I'm not saying it won't improve. I'm not saying it won't become a No Man's Sky, God's grace to the earth, give it 10 million awards, but right now, it's number 2 on my list.
Let me just change my top 5 favorite games to just No Man's Sky, just to trigger you a bit more.
No. You can't trigger me today. There's nothing that can do it. Right.
I'm gonna get you No Man's Sky for your birthday.
I've got it on PC. You can't get it me. I've already got the game.
Why aren't we playing it together?
Because it's boring.
You're boring.
Right. Pokemon Cafe Mix. It's my number 1. Worst game of 2020. What is this game? Nintendo are so... They are so, they're so finicky with what they release in terms of franchise-based games, right? How the hell did Pokemon Cafe Mix get through quality control as a game? What an utter load of trash. I don't even need to explain why it's my worst game of the year for last year.
I honestly didn't expect that.
The best franchise.
I've bloody clipped.
Biggest franchise
you bugger.
In the world. Well. Right, anyway, that's my worst. That's my worst.
God.
I thought it was a pretty decent year other than that. We had quite a lot of good games came out this year, Lawrence, so...
I don't know.
All right, go on, it's your turn now. What was your worst,
hang on,
worst games of the year?
Let me compose myself.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Right. So my top 5, not favourite / unliked, because I don't like the word worst. It's a very strong word. Number 5 is Marvel Avengers. Funnily enough. I played it. I got it for free. And I still wish I could refund it. It's just that bad. It's just boring. I played the beta twice, and then I played the main game, and I was just like, this is dull. I have no reason. No rhyme. Right. Your new character doesn't interest me. It's boring. Get off my screen. Worst 80 gig wasted ever.
Brilliant.
I know. So number 4. I'm gonna get killed for this. I could feel it.
Oh no.
Number 4. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Did that come out?
I'm pretty sure that came out in 2020.
Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't come out in 2020. Lawrence.
I'm gonna have to double check this now because now you're making me doubt myself. I'm getting attacked by a cat.
No. It didn't. It came out.
It came out 25th of January. I thought it was 2020.
2019. It's literally.
It felt like 2020. It's that bad. It's gone into 2020. Okay.
Put one of your mentions in there. Go on.
No, because these are good mentions.
Although you haven't got any bad mentions.
You know what? No, I've got it. Number 4, Pokemon Cafe Mix.
Yes.
Which I did play. And I didn't like it because it made me Switch screen get all smudged up because of me finger.
I did also play it. And only once and never again.
Yeah, only once, never again. There we go. I've also had a dig at Kingdom Hearts 3 while I'm at it.
Yeah, there you go. That's your special mention worst game of the last
special mention worst game
years.
Of 2019 Kingdom Hearts 3 because it had made me sit through 20 minutes of Let It Go. Rendered in Unreal.
I didn't even get that far into it. I don't think so.
It doesn't just do a clip. It does the whole damn song in Unreal Engine 4.
No,
and I wanted to kill myself.
I got we got just past the Toy Story bit, I think, and after that I was done.
That was the best part.
Oh no, that was boring for me. I thought it was well boring.
No Final Fantasy characters at all in the game, and it's like, what's the point of you then?
Well,
anyway,
it's Disney, innit? Disney. Anyway,
yeah.
that was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
More than a year ago.
It felt like, well, yeah,
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Two
It felt
whole
like
years
last
ago.
year. It felt like last year. Jesus.
You've been hanging on to the hatred for so long.
I really have. Like, I have a lot of hatred I need to really talk to therapists about. Anyway.
I know, and that's just Pokemon Cafe.
That's just Pokemon Cafe, mate. Jesus. Anyway, FIFA 21 is at number 3 for me.
Right.
I can't bloody stand this game anymore. It's just, do something with your lives. Like, you have so much money, you have so much potential, you have so many recommendations. Just do the recommendations. Stop trying to weasel your way out of every single loot box controversy and bloody man up or woman up. I'm not biased.
No.
And just, I hate it.
You see, you don't have this problem if you don't play sports games. So I don't really share your... Because I'm not interested in it. So it's not in my list. Although
I
it would be in
tell
the
it's not
top...
on your list.
I could put any... Well, not any sports game, but I could put a lot of sports games in my mentions for worst games. But we won't go there for that.
We won't go there.
It just seems like they can't even be bothered to try and innovate anymore.
No. I mean, Pro Evo did the right thing by just basically updating the last version just to keep everyone going while they move over to the next engine.
Yeah.
And at discounted price, which was like, okay, that's fine.
Interesting.
Anyway, and number 2, this isn't worst for me. This is just a fundamental flaw in my eyes. Doom Eternal.
Oh, you also had Doom Eternal in your list.
Yeah, number 2. It's my.
Okay.
I like Doom. I've always liked Doom. I don't like how Doom Eternal. Doom, the quintessential run and gun, rip and tear, blang, bang, 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 everything's dead. You have to worry about your ammo in Doom Eternal, and you got to use a chainsaw to get ammo, and that's like, what? You don't know. That's not Doom. To me, that's not Doom.
Okay.
And then there's the
right.
parkouring abilities in first person, and we all know how bad that gets on High Mirror's Edge.
Right.
It's just, on paper, good idea. Practice, no bueno.
So you played it.
I played it.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Was it just a reused engine and asset sequel?
No.
It wasn't.
No, it actually had story, which, again, in
No,
a Doom game...
I'm not talking about story. You can make up a story with the same assets and the same engine. So my question is, was it the same monsters? Was it the same guns? Was it the same, like, worlds?
No, actually, no. It had different worlds. It had some returning monsters, but not, like, they had new ones. And they had different guns as well.
Okay.
It's
and
like
were you
any
the
sequel.
same? Were you the same as the last one?
What do you mean by that?
Well, was your character exactly the same?
Yeah, you play as Doomslayer. It's a sequel. It's meant to be.
Okay, so yeah, same engine, reusable assets.
You
different
could say
story.
that
Okay.
for anything. Like
Yeah, I
any
could
sequel.
do.
Like
could do.
Like your argument there, I'm going to take into my top slot, not favorite / unliked worst game of 2020,
Okay.
which is The Last of Us Part 2.
Right. Okay.
Which I have played to completion, made me
Yeah.
depressed for 2 weeks, and didn't want to play the game again. Yet
Right.
it didn't innovate at all, apart from accessibility. In fact, it
Right.
downgraded its own story and characters. It wasn't smart in what it was doing. It was the same old Uncharted third-person shooter run and gun. It had survival elements that it balls. You could literally just go around and grab everything, and you had everything in your hands. There was this pseudo open world bit which only lasted for 10 minutes. It didn't innovate at all. It was a bloody piss take, is what it was.
And that's kind of what I was trying to get at with Doom Eternal, right? Is that when you do a sequel or you reuse the same engine, the same assets to make a new game, you can imagine situations where they're changing things that aren't broken to try and make it different, but it just makes it worse. And that's why like Doom Eternal was on my list. You know, that's why in this case we're looking at features and things from the first Last of Us game that were different in the second one just for the sake of being different that didn't make it better.
Well, that's the thing. Last of Us Part 2 didn't change much, if anything.
Right. It was just a story thing.
It was just the story thing, which was, let's face it, crap. Like,
I mean, I don't know it. I don't know the story. I didn't watch
like,
it, so I didn't play it. Didn't watch it.
It's meant to be this deep story about revenge and all this malarkey, and then like halfway through, spoilers, the story pretty much ends. Like, okay, there's been resolutions, everything's tied up, and then it keeps going. It's like, no, you stopped half an hour ago. Where is this? Why are we here? Like,
just to suffer.
Yeah, pretty much. It's made to make the bloody players suffer. Like halfway through the game, like you're there for 3 days as Ellie, then you suddenly switch to be Abby, and it's like you know all the fates of these people, and you get this kind of cosmic, kind of weird dread, just going, "Oh Christ, I know all your fates," which is cool,
right.
A cool idea, but then it all comes together as it does. It all ties together, and then like Abby breaks the cycle of revenge and all this, and Ellie goes away, and she has a happy family. She has PTSD about what happens at the beginning of the game. Okay, go see a therapist. No, she goes to kill Abby again. And it's like, why? This is it's just annoying and long, and I just want the credits to roll at this point. I'm depressed enough as it is.
Right.
A lot about that game irritated me, but it was graphically it was good. Accessibility options, I can't fault it. It was revolutionary for its accessibility options. Like you could literally, if you had impaired sight, you could play The Last of Us Part 2.
Right.
Like that was really good in accessibility options. The story. Okay, yeah, people were like, "Oh, well, your favourite character died and you're salty." No, I'm not salty. I'm a storyteller at heart. That's what I do. And it's just, I can see why there's comparisons to Abby and Joel, and it's like, I get it, but just, if they're going to do a third one, please, for the love of Christ, just copy or take bits from one, not two, because two just felt icky. And there was this whole guitar section thing, and you could play literal music on guitar, which is cool. But then they make it to a cringe factor, and there was just so many things. It was just like, no, stop.
Okay, let's try and bring this little rant back onto rails somehow here, because you've got a lot to say about it, and I admire your passion.
Thank you.
The Last of Us Part 2 for all the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons.
But there
it's
you
not
go.
Bad.
So
that's the thing. It's just all right. It's not.
It's just
great.
all right. It's just all right.
It's just all right.
Well,
I need to lie down after that.
Speaking of just all right, let's talk about better than all right. Should we talk about the best games now?
Oh,
of the last
you mean
year?
you mean your top 5 favorite games of 2020?
My top 5 favorite games, just my personal opinion. And to be fair, we're like, this is again, side note, also only mentioning games that actually came out this year. So, obviously we still play.
Unless you Kingdom Hearts 3, then you transcend.
Well, then you've done something. Now I've got to decide my number 5. I didn't really put this into another top 5 list again, so I'm going to make it up as we go along here. Number 5 then will be Hades.
Ooh.
Yep.
Shock.
So, I've not finished this game yet. I've not finished it, but
have you played it as well?
Well, I have played it, yeah, and it's one of those. I've bought it now on both the Switch and the PC because I just wanted to have that experience. So I've always been looking for a kind of pick up and play experience that's arcadey enough to just do for a couple of minutes and then stop and then put down again. But when I have like a second or just a minute of doing something, and Hades has been one of those games that I've felt like I can do that with. Aside from, it's kind of like that mobile game type thing that's like, this is only going to take you a couple of minutes and you'll get a little bit out of it, and it's just a bit of progression.
Yeah.
And I really like that about it. And I don't really I still don't really care that much for the story, but it's just a fun game. So I thought, sure, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it. I just need to play it.
Yeah. I've just realised I didn't put a game in my list I wanted to, so I'm going to swap something out here.
Oh, he's swapping. Playing Uno by himself.
Playing Uno, reverse. Right.
Reverse
Fourth
card.
on my list was Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh, interesting.
Because, I know that it's not something we've really returned to recently.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what is there to return to?
the moments that we had as a squad in that game in VR
so good.
were some of the best moments
good.
playing games last year.
Ugh.
So it deserves to be in my faves list, just for that reason. I think really. So there's that. That one was there. Number 3, I'm gonna give it to. You see, I just don't know which one is my favorite game. Right, I'll.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying to make a decision, which he should have made before
Ghost of
recording.
Tsushima, number 3.
Ghost of Tsushima 3?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I don't know whether to come around to your house and slap you now or later.
Only because I haven't played enough of it yet.
Okay, well, I'll let you off.
I'm still deep in the. I got to get back into the game and get through it and stuff. You know, just from my personal experience this year, it's number 3. But that's not to say that once I've finished it, if I'd have finished it by now, I might have considered it for 2 or 1. But just at this point in time, it's my number 3. But it is an amazing game, and it's hard to pick between this and the others. So, number 2 is Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War. Because, you know, what a saving grace Call of Duty, in my opinion. I thought that the Modern Warfare was pretty good. And even then, it was kind of like, oh, I can see Call of Duty getting a little bit better again. Because we'd had a slump of Call of Duties that were just trash after trash after trash. And it was just like, is this the end of Call of Duty? And because of zombies this year, and because of, you know, just the way Treyarch package a game, the way that they do, for me, it always just hits me in the right spot for Call of Duty. And they've done such a good job this year on zombies particularly, that, you know, we're jumping on all the time. We're like, you know, we're getting in. But it's I've really connected with you and Sam and Chris this year, just over the last year, 2020. Because of Corona, because yeah, exactly. Because of all that, we've become a lot closer, and I think that Call of Duty has been one of those games that's really helped that as well. And that's just why,
because that's the only game Sam and Chris have got to play with us.
Well, for now, yeah, but that's just my experience with the game over the last year, isn't it? That's just another reason why, for me, it's a great. I mean, number of times I've jumped on by myself just to play some zombies or just grind some stuff and just have a go. You know, me and my dad play it together as well. So that's why it's number 2. Okay, anyway, number 1, it's Animal Crossing. I want to know what you thought was going to be my number 1.
Well,
did you think Ghost was going to be my number 1?
No. I feared that bloody Mega Aquarium was going to be your number 1, to be honest.
Oh, it didn't come out. It didn't come out this year. Mega Aquarium might have been in the top 5 otherwise, but it didn't come out 2020. So Animal Crossing just came along
at the right
almost scarily at the right time, and me and my girlfriend got to play it for months on end. I have hundreds and hundreds of hours in Animal Crossing, and it just gave me so much joy and so much, like, I don't know, it kind of saved a lot of me mentally throughout those months, throughout the year, because it was rubbish, you know. Last year, March time, it was pretty bad, and you know, me and my girlfriend ended up in a routine where we would get up, we would be making breakfast, and we would be going on Animal Crossing in the morning to see what was in the shop. We'd be going on together. We'd be trading shop items. We'd be going fishing. And it just got us through. It was perfect. So, and we got to then see all of our friends' islands, and we did a lot of social gaming, that side of things. So, I mean, at this point in time, we're not really playing it that much anymore. We're jumping on for special events and stuff, but
it's because it got replaced by Minecraft with your social gaming.
Well, it did get replaced by Minecraft. There's just too many social games to play, Lawrence, honestly, and there's not enough time in the day. So
it's true.
You have to pick and choose. But yeah, it was. If I had to say a number one game, it was Animal Crossing, just because of all the goodness it brought, this year. What about you, Lawrence? What's your top five?
Top five. For me, number 5 is Crusader Kings 3.
Okay.
I was looking forward to this game as soon as it was announced. I got hooked on Crusader Kings 2 and Hearts of Iron 4 and that kind of style of game, that grand strategy game. And I've always liked the Crusader Kings series. Just the idea of the fact that you're in history and you can change the course of history, and it's the same with Crusader Kings, Hearts of Iron, Europa Universalis. It's the same kind of different points of history, but you can copy over worlds. So say Crusader Kings 3, it goes up to a certain date. I can copy that world onto my Europa Universalis save game, and then I can copy that world into Hearts of Iron 4. So I've got my own personal world going on.
Right.
And it the RPG elements is just fun. I love making my own king, and either be a Norse king or someone in England, and conquering there's different lands and in different ways, and kind of setting up my own kingdom for generations to come. It's a pretty fun game. It's one of those games which you fall down a rabbit hole in. You blink and it's been 12 hours. I mean, that happened to me once in a Hearts of Iron 4 game where basically I remade the British Empire before World War II began, and Hitler was dead before 1939.
Brilliant.
I was a savior of the world, and it was great.
You were the king of kings.
I am the king of kings, you're right.
I didn't realise that Hearts of Iron was a Crusader Kings game.
Yes, it's done by Paradox. Yeah.
Okay.
It's same guys. No, that's Frontier. I was going to say same guys as Planet Coaster, but no, that's Frontier, I think.
The other thing I was going to say is that I heard a lot about Crusader Kings 3 the last year, but then I realised it's probably just you going on about Crusader Kings 3.
I mean, the amount of mods that are on there now it's gonna be really good. People doing Lord of the Rings mods, Game of Thrones mods, Star Wars mods is just so good.
Okay, so what was number 4 then?
Number 4, I think it's going to surprise quite a few people here. Maybe not.
All right.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That is kind of a surprise.
Yeah, because in the slump we've had with Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I really enjoyed it.
Right.
I love the setting because I've just realised it's a similar setting as Crusader Kings 3.
Oh, God.
It's Viking era, but the mystic elements, I was like, oh, God, no, not again. But they made sense. They made it make sense, and it was kind of, I wouldn't say grounded in realism, but it was definitely steeped in history, and I love my history. It was just, the RPG elements made fun. They brought back the one-hit kill assassinations, just like the old Assassin's Creed games, and I was like, yes, finally. I kind of just liked the option to be able to pull my hood up and down so I could be an assassin if I wanted.
Right.
It was cool. And the combat felt meaty, it felt good. It actually felt like a bit of an impact. It's still not as good as God of War. That combat in God of War is mad. But Valhalla was a good Assassin's Creed, I'd say.
Are you not burnt out slightly by Assassin's Creed now at this point, though? Is it not?
Not really, no. Because it's a different era every game, and I'm always curious as to how they take it. I was, as soon as Assassin's Creed Origins, which is one set in Egypt, was announced, I was like, I'm not really keen on Egypt, but I gave it a go, and it's one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games, just because the protagonist is just that cool.
Okay, so let's guess what your number 3 is then. Is your number 3 Vikings, the Viking Simulator?
How did you know?
Yeah, well, just an inkling, I guess.
No, it wasn't. Do you want to try another guess?
No, go carry on.
Number 3 is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah. This was not on my list because I didn't play it, so...
Which, out of the both of us, I would have thought you would have got it day one, but, things have changed, yes. I suppose.
There's other things change. It's just, I don't know, I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and...
Final Fantasy VIII Remaster came out, and that's not even on my list. I know. But Final Fantasy VII Remake, just they say it's... the title says remake, it's not a remake in the sense that they say remake because it fits with the story, not because they're rehashing the old Final Fantasy story. They're taking elements, but they've changed it. And the combat system felt great. It felt the perfect balance between the old Final Fantasy and the new Final Fantasy. And I hope they take that and carry it on with the new Final Fantasies that are coming out. I loved all the voice acting. Just the story beats felt really good. To be able to see Midgar in that kind of HD environment was great to see. So there was that nostalgia hit, but they added so many new elements into it. It felt like a brand new Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to part 2. I want part 2 because I need answers. There are a lot of questions raised that I need answers to, which if it was a one-to-one remake, I would already know what the hell was happening. But now I'm I don't know what's happening. Please give me answers. Please,
I see. That's pretty interesting.
And you can play as each character in your party, and each character will have a certain strength or weakness. So Cloud is the all-rounder, Tifa is the DPS, Aerith is the healer, but she can deal out some good magic damage. Barret is the range damage guy. And it's cool kind of mixing and matching the materia and the weapons and just really customizing your character out. And it's a solid RPG. And I got it a week early thanks to deliveries. So by the time it came out properly, I'd finished the game and I was like, I need more. I require more. So that's why it's on number 3, because I really enjoyed it. And I recommend it.
What's number 2?
Number 2 is going to surprise people again. Do you want to hash a guess of what number 2 is?
Is it Call of Duty Cold War?
It's not.
Is it Football Manager?
No. No.
Is it Super Mario 3D All-Stars?
How did you get no?
All right, what is it then?
Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh.
Yeah, it's surprising everyone.
That was a surprise.
I love Ghost of Tsushima. I think it's beautiful. The combat system it's not innovative, the combat system, but it doesn't need to be. I love the world, the story. It was such a good story. I haven't had a chance to play the co-op or the multiplayer because I kind of traded in the game, but I'm going to rebuy it again. Just wow is pretty much all I could say about Ghost of Tsushima. I just wanted to explore the world. I just want to see more. I want to see more of that beauty, and the story and the story beats hit at the right time, and just the ending. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but oh my Christ, it was just very
incredible.
Emotional, very emotional.
Such a great vibey game.
It's a good
game
to
go in and get lost in a samurai vibe.
Yeah.
This is that game, because you can just pause at any point in time and just start playing with how things look and just put yourself in a position where you can make it look beautiful and just take photos, and you
can really immerse yourself into that world.
Surprisingly, potentially more than Cyberpunk.
Ghost of Tsushima is at number 2 because the only difference for me between number 2 and number 1 is that I haven't gone back to Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
So number 1 Very controversial decision is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, yeah, what a shot. That one was not a shot. I'll tell you that right now. That one I could smell a mile away.
No, I just farted.
Oh, Christ. Is that what the future smells like?
It is. The
Not
future is
interested.
now, old man.
I'm not interested if that's what it smells like, Lawrence.
Cyberpunk 2077. It's a game I've been looking forward to for 8 years. Yeah, it's buggy. Allegedly, the execs are scummy, but what else is new? It was a broken mess. Graphically, it was good-ish. The damn story. Like, wow. I love that story. I loved Johnny Silverhand. I loved that city. It made me just want to explore. It made me want to do things in the world which I knew were possible, which worded the game, which, was soul-destroying. But sitting back and, I haven't played... I've played it twice. I'm going through one more playthrough, but I'm going to wait for all the patches and all the stuff to come back in. It's my game of 2020 just because it's like no other game, especially in a single player RPG, has ever made me go back and want to play immediately after finishing it. Like there was not a gap between me stopping and starting. Like I just went straight back into it, and I love the potential. I love what's there. Once the bugs get fixed, it's going to look great. It looked great on the RTX. It is just it's a buggy game, but it's a potentially masterpiece game. It's not now, but it could be.
I mean, I don't really know how the rest of the story goes yet, but from where I am in the story, I have a very strong, yes, this story is like a nice, very well thought out story. And that, that part of it's fine. That part of it's great. It's just the rest of it for me that made it. And unlike you're putting it in your best because you see the potential. I'm putting it in my worst because the potential hasn't been fulfilled yet.
Yeah. Yeah,
and I think that our opinions are still very similar, even though the choices are very controversial to each other.
I do have special mentions, stuff which I have a specific criteria for.
Well, I have a couple of special mentions as well, because even though I don't have them written down, I could probably...
Do you want to hear the criteria?
Okay, let's hear your criteria.
Criteria special mentions are games which are either yearly releases. That's why Call of Duty's not here. It's either like games that don't have enough content in, ironically, even though I put in Cyberpunk. Remakes, remasters.
Even though you put
kind of stuff.
Final Fantasy VII in your...
Well, that's not a remake. It's far enough to be not a remake or a remaster. Honestly, it's that far enough. It's not a remake by any stretch of imagination. It just says remake in the name because of the story.
All right. Okay. All right.
I can't say without spoiling it.
I'm watching you.
I can't mention without spoiling the story, and I wanted to play it. Please.
You should have got it me for Christmas, then I'd play it. No, I'm kidding. Carry on.
I can't swear on the podcast.
No, you can't. Carry on.
I'll buy you for your birthday. There you go.
No, don't. No.
Too late. So, number 5, my special mention is Football Manager 2021.
Okay. All right.
There it is. Okay. It's there.
There it is. There's your future... what team it is manager? Everton manager, was it?
Everton manager, yeah.
There's your future Everton manager. Here he is.
It's just...
Interrupting podcast. Playing on the job. All you've done. Okay. You've been to Germany and back.
I have been to Germany and back, you're right.
Bloody hell.
But, I mean, I've always liked Football Manager. I didn't play it as much on 2020, but in 2021 they tweaked enough features for me to be like, okay, I'm invested now. But it's the lowest on my special mentions at number 5.
I love how you've got a list.
I do.
Top. Oh gosh, right, go on with it.
Number 4. Number
At
4.
number 5, it's number 7. At number 6, it's number 2. At number 1, you'll never guess, it's number 5.
Not that video again. Oh, God, no. At number 4, you dick, it is the Outer Worlds.
I don't know anything about this game.
It's the same developers as Fallout New Vegas, and contrary to belief, I'd never played Fallout New Vegas for more than 5 minutes. And I enjoyed the Outer Worlds, what I played, but I didn't finish it enough to warrant it like a top 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good as a double A game, if you want to call it. But,
yeah. Yeah.
You're set in a sci-fi world, wacky, Borderlands-esque humor, I guess. Just a little bit smarter. It's just good.
Oh, I know what game this is now. I never saw anything about it, but I know what game we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
At number 3.
At number 3, it's number 4.
It's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2.
A very good special mention there, Lawrence. Well done.
Thank you. This was more for nostalgia than anything. So I remember playing Tony Hawk 1 on my PlayStation 1 and seeing it all as the graphics and la-di-da and now as an adult playing it again, my thumbs hurting and swearing at the screen because I wasn't able to direct Tony Hawk in a proper direction. True nostalgia.
True nostalgia. Very good.
And number 2 is number 1.
At number 2, it's number 7. Okay.
It's Star Wars Squadrons. Star Wars Squadrons, for me, is a very special game. The reason why it's on the special mention is because it's for me, it's not enough to be called a game. It is enough to be called a concept. And
yeah,
I love the VR. Like, I want to play it again because of the VR, and I loved playing with you guys. Like, especially playing with you guys. Playing with you guys on Star Wars Squadrons in VR, acting like a squad, is a dream come true for me. Like, just the fantasy was fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and I still love it, and I just want more. Give more, make more. Thank you.
Give us the Death Star trench run.
Give us Rogue Squadron 4, you cowards, in VR.
I know. I dare them.
And special mention, number 1, this is going to be so damn obvious, isn't it? It's Persona 5 Royale.
Why was this not in your top 5? Because it's the only game you banged on about every episode, pretty much.
Because Royale is an expansion pack to the first Persona 5. So it technically doesn't count.
You and your bloody criterias and
look, it's important. It's important.
it's oh God, right.
It's important to have criterias in life. Fact. But I love Persona 5 Royale. I was afraid of playing it at first because I played through the first Persona 5 and I thought, oh God, what if I don't like it? What if I get bored? This, that, the other. But they've done just enough and they've added a whole new semester on where I was like, oh God, I'm spending at least 12 hours a day on this game.
Wow.
Oh boy. And I'm not stopping. I love this game to death. And I'm looking forward to the new Persona 5 game coming out on Switch and PC.
It's why we don't see you as much often as we'd like. It's why your mum calls me asking if you're all right.
It's true, because I'm usually playing Persona 5 Royale.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'm sure he's fine. He'll either be in Germany or he'll be on
in Tokyo.
He'll be in Tokyo. He'll be one of the two. Don't you worry.
Well, that's the cool thing about Persona 5 and Royale is that they've taken actual Tokyo and kind of made it a bit smaller. But for someone like me who's never been, who's always wanted to go, it's almost near as damn it of going to Tokyo, especially in these kind of times.
Your cat has to feed you. The dogs take you for a walk, Lawrence. That's how.
Wait, are we talking about Animal Crossing or Persona 5?
We're still talking about Persona 5 here, Lawrence.
Are we? Oh, I don't remember that bit.
Well, I'm glad that it's good.
At number 6.
Oh, for God's sake! I'm going to be dead quick with mine. I haven't got a list, but I was going to say Hyrule Warriors. Age of Calamity was in my list just because Yeah, amazing. Like the first Hyrule Warriors game was not what I kind of wanted. You know, I kind of wanted something a bit more. I thought it was cool, but I didn't really think there was much in it other than, oh, look, it's Link and it's more characters. And whereas this actually has like huge meat to that game. Like if you are interested in Breath of the Wild or Breath of the Wild 2, you need to be getting this game.
I mean, I've only played like the first 2 missions, I think, but it's very, very good. Yeah. Do you want to know the cool thing?
Go on.
The team that developed that is developing the new Persona 5 game.
Oh, well, there you go then. What else did I want to mention? I wanted to mention
Mega Aquarium.
No, it didn't come out this year, Lawrence.
But it can still be in your special mention. Oh, I will.
Well, don't start messing around with my special mentions because I'll probably start saying a lot of different things.
Oh God.
We could talk Elder Scrolls Online. We could talk.
I mean, that did technically come out this year. The expansion, didn't it?
The expansions did. Yeah, we had many expansions. We had Greymore. That was good. Honestly, it was just like basically probably just that game. I can't really think of any other ones to give special mention to. I think that Rogue Company has a lot of potential, but didn't really hit the mark as hard as they wanted to when they launched. But I still think it's a really great game. I'd love it to pick up momentum a little bit. Genshin Impact was a very interesting release this year, but over the last year, sorry, not this year. But I think that it just has that like too repetitiveness to it. Like it forces you to get to a point where you can't do any more if you haven't spent money on the game, you know, like on a daily basis. I just stopped playing it eventually because it just couldn't keep it going. Minecraft Dungeons, I wish we played more of. It was fun. I thought it was fun. That's going to be, I think I'm just going to leave it there. We had some good games. Warzone's all right, but I don't like the way that they've separated it from Cold War entirely. That's why I'm not really interested in that.
Yeah.
But that'll do. Before we wrap up for the day, Lawrence, I do want to ask you what you think the highest grossing mobile game was this year, but without looking at the sheet, without looking at the wiki.
Was it Pokemon Go? Because you told me this before the stream.
It was not Pokemon Go, Lawrence.
Was it?
Pokemon Go.
Cafe Mix.
No, Pokemon Go had a $1.2 billion revenue in 2020.
And that wasn't top one?
And it wasn't number one on the list.
Was it PUBG?
PUBG was number one. Can you guess how much revenue it made?
Too much.
But bear in mind that this is PUBG Mobile, a game that isn't really played here so much. It's usually full of bots.
Is it probably 3 billion?
It was close. It's $2.6 billion.
It's a Chinese market, though, isn't it?
It is. It's all Tencent Bluehole. The second highest grossing mobile game is another Tencent game.
Ooh.
It was Honor of Kings / Arena of Valor, which made $2.5 billion. It was only 100 million shy of beating PUBG.
Jeez. Well, you know what that tells me?
What does it tell you?
People have got too much money to spend on mobile games.
That's very true. Although I have started playing Brawl Stars a lot more over the last couple of weeks. I have
just seen an article on a new game coming out. Well, a game of a trilogy coming out, Hitman 3. A news article just came out literally an hour ago.
Breaking news.
Breaking news right at the end of the podcast because screw structure.
Yeah.
It will retroactively optimize the first 2 games. So all 3 games will, with all content, will take up around about 100 gigabytes. Now, because I downloaded this last night, Hitman 2 and Hitman 1 takes up 176 gigabytes.
Wow, so it's a big compression.
Big compression, but it's gonna look better. Better reflections, like it's on the better engine, stuff like that. And that's one of the things I like about the Hitman series now is they take the last year's game and they put it into the new one. If you've got the game, and so you can play it all the way through, and you don't have to switch out programs like a certain Call of Duty does.
Excellent. Well, yeah, if you're a Hitman fan, there you go. That's a bit of news for you.
Very good news for
But
me.
that will wrap up our episode for today, Lawrence. Do you think 2021, do you think we're going to have a better gaming year 2021? Or because I thought that 2020 wasn't too bad, all things considered. I thought...
There is one title that's coming out this year, which I know 100% will make this year a better gaming year than last year.
Okay. What is it?
Hogwarts Legacy. The Harry Potter open
Right.
world
Well,
RPG
thanks for listening
game.
today to this
It is
episode
going
of
to
Get
be
Real
the
Gaming.
greatest Harry Potter
You can
game
ignore anything that I was
I
saying right now.
think
And
that
if
will
you
be very
liked our episode today, you can let us
great.
know at Get Real Pod on all of our social medias. And you can also email us at getrealgaming. Oh, God, that's not our email address. Lawrence, you're putting me off. Getrealpoduk@gmail.com. And you can leave us a rating and share it with your friends across wherever you like to do it. That will help us out a lot. And we'll see you next time. So goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
RPG, and I just think that's going to be the reason why it's the best gaming year this year.